All right. Are we ready? Meeting will come to order. Good evening. Welcome to the City of Hialeah Planning and Zoning Board meeting for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. Everyone, please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity here. Please watch over us, guide us as we make the right decisions. As we make the decisions, help us make the right decisions for all of those involved, city and citizens. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Meeting guidelines. The following guidelines apply to today's Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Any person interested in making comments or posing questions on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Individuals should be respectful of the Planning and Zoning Board members and make every effort to speak with moderate tone, using appropriate language and avoiding personal attacks. The public can view the Planning and Zoning Board meetings on the city's YouTube page. All lobbyists must register with the Planning and Zoning Board prior to item being heard. A maximum of 4 speakers in favor and 4 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the Planning and Zoning Board on any item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Item number 1, roll call. Mr. Perez?
Here.
Mr. Mason? Is absent. Mr. Iglesias?
Here.
Mr. Ulloa?
Here.
Mr. Yush?
Here.
Mr. Morales is absent. Mrs. Enriquez? Here. We have a quorum. Item number 2, approval of Planning and Zoning Board summary agenda of February 25th, 2026 as submitted.
Motion to approve?
Second that motion.
We had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Yush?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Item has been approved. Administration of oath to all applicants and anyone who will be speaking before the board on any item.
Anyone and everyone that's going to speak in front of the board, please stand, raise your hand so we can swear you in. Todas las personas que van a prestar testamento frente de la Junta, pónganse de pie para jurarlo, por favor.
Do you
Si no juran, no pueden testamentar.
swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board? ¿Usted jura o afirma decir la verdad ante esta junta?
Thank you. Let the record show the answer was in the affirmative.
A written decision and resolution will be prepared and presented for review to the City Council. The City Council is authorized to affirm with conditions, or override the decisions by resolution. After the resolution is adopted, contact a member of the City Clerk's office to obtain a copy of the final decision and resolution. Upon your receipt of the final decision and resolution, contact the Building Department to obtain your required building permit. Summary minutes or a copy of the audio file of the proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Board shall be prepared and submitted to the City Council before its hearing. The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. Item number 3, variance permit to allow an oversized accessory building with a floor area of 832 square feet, where 500 square feet is the maximum floor area allowed. Property is located at 7200 West 11th Court, Hialeah Zoned R3, Multiple Family District. Applicant East Point Properties, LLC.
Before we start, I'd like to take just a second and welcome back
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Yu.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Glad to be
An
back.
old known face, not old as an age.
Yeah,
old.
we're both.
a known quantity, put it that way.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Name and address, please.
My name is Julio Perez.
Press the button.
My name is Julio Perez.
Ooh.
I'm here on behalf of 7200 West 11 Core. My address, 16160 Northwest 107th Place, Miami, Florida, 33157.
Thank you. She's going to read it into the record and then we'll talk about it.
All right, thank you.
The property in this application is located on the west side of West 11 Court, between West 71st Street and West 72nd Street. The lot is approximately 34,810 square feet or 0.80 acres, according to Miami-Dade County property appraisals records. The site is improved with 3 multifamily buildings consisting of 2-story, 8-unit apartment buildings located at the subject address, a 1-story, 4-unit apartment building located at 7190 West 11th Court, and a 2-story, 21 apartment building located at 7130 West 11th Court, originally constructed in 1968. The said property is part of Las Brisas del Caribe condominium development. The property is designated as a medium-density residential on the city's future land use map, and the zoning classification is R3, multifamily district, which is consistent therewith. A review of the city microfilms records indicate that the city property was developed under separate permits. The 8-unit apartment building was constructed under permit number 1967-77220. The 4-unit apartment building was constructed under permit number 1967-77219, and the 21-unit apartment building was constructed under permit 1968-1161. Records further indicate that the apartment building later received a roof repair replace permit under permit numbers 2010-320, 2010-331, and 2015-6521. In June 2023, the property applied for a building permit under building permit number multi-002917-2023 to legalize an accessory building used for storage by residents of the apartment buildings. During the zoning review, staff determined that the existing 832 square foot accessory building proposed for legalization exceed the maximum permitted area of 500 square feet allowed in the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance, which is being considered at this time. It is important to note that the current status of the permit is abandoned, meaning that the property owner must contact the building department to reactivate the permit in order to continue with the legalization process. The submitted site plan demonstrates compliance with the minimum 30% pervious area requirement. Additionally, the accessory building complies with the required interior wet side setbacks and maintains the minimum required separation of 10 feet from any other structures. According to the R3 zoning classification regulations, specifically section 98-587 parenthesis 2 of the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinance, an accessory building is permitted, a permitted use within this zoning district, provided that it is incidental to the principal use. Therefore, staff does not find that the request will negatively impact adjacent properties, as the structure complies with the required setbacks and provide adequate storage space for the residents of the 33-unit apartment complex. Lastly, at the time of the analysis, staff observed a canvas roof structure located directly east of the accessory building, under which what appears to be discarded or broken household appliances are being stored, as shown in the staff report in the photograph. This structure and the storage, they need to be removed. Based on the applicant request, staff recommends approval with the following conditions: that the applicant shall reactivate building permit number multi-002917-2023 with the building department in order to proceed with the legalization of the accessory building. And number 2, the applicant shall proffer and record a declaration of restriction stating that the accessory building shall remain incidental to the principal multifamily use of the property and shall be used solely for storage by the residents of the property and shall not be used as a dwelling unit on or for any habitable purposes. And 3, that the canvas roof structure located on the east of the accessory building, along with any discarded or broken household appliances stored underneath, shall be removed from the property. Therefore, staff recommends approval with conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
I'd like to point to this picture I just received yesterday from the owners. They removed the canvas structure, and they're in the process of removing the PVC shed and also the fence. All of that space will be cleared out.
Thank you.
Okay. Comments or questions from the board? No, none from the board. Anyone in the audience have a comment or question on this item? Okay, closes the bar public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions.
Second the motion with conditions.
We had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Huge,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez.
Yes.
Items has been approved with conditions.
Yes, thank you.
I don't see. I don't see the Usually you put it down on this.
Item number 4, variance permit to allow an oversized accessory building with a floor area of 881 square feet, where 500 square feet is the maximum floor area allowed, and to allow the oversized accessory structure to exceed 35% of the size of the main building. Property is located at 640 East 60th Street, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district. Applicant Orlando Lopez.
Name and address, please.
Orlando López, 640 y 60 Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33013.
Okay, ¿tú vas a necesitar español?
Español, María.
¿Ah?
Español.
Sí.
Okay. Mira. Oh, thank you. Ella va a leerlo, el caso, al récord. Ok. Después se lo va a leer en español también. Lo lee en inglés, después en español. Cuando usted vaya a responder, por favor, de una oración pequeña, al tiempo que ella lo traduzca, porque si no, perdemos el hilo. ¿Ok?
The property in this application is located on the south side of East 60th Street between East 6th Avenue and East 7th Avenue. The lot is approximately 8,400 square feet or 0.19 acres. The site is improved with a 2,170 square foot single-family home originally built in 1954, according to Miami-Dade County property appraisal records. The property is designated as low-density residential on the city's future land use map. The zoning classification is R1, one family district, which is consistent therewith. The surrounding land uses designations and zoning classification are as follows: to the north, east, south, and west, low-density residential, zone R1. A review of the city microfilms records indicate that the main residence was originally constructed with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms under permit number 1954-26128. Records further indicate that the property later received a roof replace permit under number 2021-11761. In August 2025, the property owner received a building without a permit violation case number BWOP-003810-2025 for failing to obtain a building permit for the installation of new windows and doors, as well as for interior alterations. The owner subsequently applied for a building permit under building permit number BLDR-006679-2025 to legalize the unpermitted work. During the zoning review process, staff determined that the existing 881 square foot accessory building located at the rear of the property and proposed for legalization exceeds the maximum permitted accessory structure area of 500 square feet allowed by the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances. Furthermore, the accessory building exceeds 35% of the size of the main building, which is the maximum allowable percentage for accessory structures pursuant to section number 98-1666 of the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow the existing accessory structure remain as built, which is being considered at this time. According to the submitted survey and site plan, the property complies with the minimum 30% pervious area requirement, providing 2,858 square feet or approximately 34% of pervious area, which exceeds the minimum requirement. The site plan also indicates that the aluminum covered porch and utility room attached to the accessory buildings are proposed to be demolished. Also, the site plan proposes to provide a 2-foot drainage separation along the east and west side of the property lines. The submitted floor plan for the existing accessory building shows that the structure contains no interior partition and is used solely for storage purposes. The accessory building complies with the required interior west side setback, rear setback, and the minimum distance separations from the main structure, as required by the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances. Staff finds that the request may be approved as it is necessary to legalize the existing alterations. The oversized accessory structure does not create negative impacts on adjacent properties, as the structure does not obstruct light, airflow, or visibility, and remains fully within the required setback of the property boundaries. Approval of this request will allow the property owner to bring the residents into compliance through the building permitting process and the required zoning approvals while maintaining compatibility with the surrounding single-family home residential neighborhood. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the request, subject to the following conditions. One, the applicant shall continue to obtain all required building permits to legalize the existing accessory structure and all previously unpermitted work under permit number BLDR-006679-2025, and that the aluminum covered porch and the utility room attached to the accessory building shall be demolished as indicated on the submitted site plan. And three, that the accessory building shall be used for storage purposes only and shall not be converted into a dwelling unit, living quarters, or any habitable space. And the applicant shall maintain the required 2-foot drainage separation along the east and west property lines as shown in the submitted site plan, and proffer a declaration of use to maintain the property as single-family residence with only one kitchen on premises according to the R1 zoning regulations. Staff recommends approval with those conditions. Ahora se lo voy a leer en español, ¿ok? La propiedad de esta solicitud se ubica en el lado sur de la calle 60 Este, entre la Sexta y la Séptima Avenida del Este. El terreno tiene aproximadamente 8.400 pies cuadrados. El terreno está mejorado con una vivienda unifamiliar de 2.170 pies cuadrados, construida originalmente en 1954, según los registros del tasador de propiedades del condado de Miami-Dade. La propiedad está designada como residencial de baja densidad en el mapa de uso futuro del suelo de la ciudad. La clasificación de zonificación es R1, distrito unifamiliar, lo cual concuerda con dicha clasificación. Las designaciones de uso y las clasificaciones de zonificación son las siguientes. Al norte, este, sur y oeste, residencial de baja densidad, zonificación R1. Una revisión de los registros de microfilm de la ciudad indica que la residencia principal se construyó originalmente con 3 dormitorios y 2 baños bajo el permiso número 1954-26128. Los registros indican además que la propiedad recibió posteriormente un permiso para la reparación y reemplazo del techo con el número de permiso 2021-11761. En agosto del 2025, el propietario recibió una infracción por construcción sin permiso con el número de caso BWOP-003810-2025 por no obtener los permisos de construcción para la instalación de nuevas ventanas y puertas, así como para reformas interiores. Posteriormente, el propietario solicitó un permiso de construcción con el número de permiso BLDR-006679-2025 para legalizar la obra no autorizada. Durante el proceso de revisión de zonificación, el personal determinó que la edificación auxiliar existente de 881 pies cuadrados, ubicada en la parte trasera de la propiedad y propuesta para legalizarla, excede el área máxima permitida para la estructura auxiliar de 500 pies cuadrados según el Código de Ordenanza de la Ciudad de Hialeah. Además, el edificio auxiliar supera en un 35% el tamaño del supera el 35% de la limitación para un área auxiliar. Para estructuras auxiliares según la sección 98-166 del Código de Ordenanza de la Ciudad de Hialeah. Por lo tanto, el solicitante está haciendo la petición para una variación para que la estructura existente se mantenga tal como fue construida, lo cual será considerado actualmente. Según los documentos sometidos, la propiedad cumple con el requisito mínimo de área permeable del 30%, lo que proporciona 2.858 pies cuadrados o aproximadamente el 34% del área de la propiedad. El plano también indica que se propone demoler el porche cubierto de aluminio y el cuarto de servicio adjunto con el edificio auxiliar. Asimismo, se propone instalar una separación de 2 pies a lo largo de los límites de la propiedad en el lado este y en el este. El plano presentado también muestra que la estructura no contiene particiones interiores y se utiliza exclusivamente para almacenamiento. El edificio auxiliar cumple con la separación interior requerido por el lado oeste, para el lado trasero y la distancia mínima de separación con la estructura principal, según lo exige el Código de Ordenanzas de la Ciudad de Hialeah. El personal considera que la solicitud puede aprobarse ya que es necesaria para legalizar las modificaciones existentes. La estructura auxiliar de gran tamaño no genera impactos negativos en la propiedad adyacente, ya que no obstruye la luz, la ventilación y la visibilidad y se mantiene completamente dentro de las separaciones y los límites de los límites de la propiedad. La aprobación de esta solicitud permitirá al propietario adecuadamente obtener los permisos de construcción y las aprobaciones de zonificación requeridas, manteniendo al mismo tiempo la compatibilidad con el vecindario. Por lo tanto, el personal recomienda la aprobación sujeta con las siguientes condiciones. Uno, que el solicitante deberá continuar y obtener todos los permisos de construcción necesarios para legalizar la estructura auxiliar existente y todas las obras no autorizadas previamente según el permiso número BLDR-006679-2025 y el porche cubierto de aluminio y el cuarto de servicio adjunto a la estructura auxiliar deberán demolerse según lo indicado en el plano presentado. Y la estructura auxiliar se utilizará únicamente para almacenamiento y no se convertirá en una unidad de vivienda ni en ningún espacio habitable. Y los solicitantes deberán mantener la separación de drenaje requerida de 2 pies a lo largo de los límites de la propiedad este y oeste, según como lo muestra el plano, y debe presentar una declaración de uso para mantener la propiedad como vivienda unifamiliar con una sola cocina en la casa, de acuerdo con la normativa de zonificación de R1. Staff le recomienda aprobación con esas condiciones.
Thank you, Claudia. Comments or questions? ¿Entendió lo que le dijo ella?
Sí.
¿Quiere una copia de las?
Yo tengo,
¿Usted la tiene? Ok. ¿Una pregunta, un comentario? Comments or questions? No?
todo bien.
Comments or questions from the board? Anyone in the audience have a comment or question on this item? Okay, none heard. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions.
Second the motion with conditions.
Okay, we had a motion by Mrs. Enrica, second by Mr. Iglesias.
Before you call the roll. ¿Usted está de acuerdo con las condiciones que le pusieron? Okay.
He agrees with the conditions.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Yuch,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Okay. Se la aprobó con las condiciones. ¿Cuándo se quiere come back?
Tendría que regresar el martes, en marzo 24, a las 5:30 de la tarde.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Item number 5. Variance permit to allow north side setback of 0 feet with 5 feet 1 inches required, and to allow 0 feet landscape buffer facing East 47th Street where a minimum of 7 feet landscape buffer is required. Property is located at 4698 East 10th Lane, Hialeah Zone M1 Industrial District. Applicant Marbeli Hernandez Moye on behalf of Vicente R. Hernandez and Alba G. Hernandez.
Hi, good
Name and
afternoon.
address, please.
Marbelli Hernandez Moy, 13031 Northwest 5th Street, Plantation, Florida, 33325.
Okay, you're representing the property owner?
Yes,
I see you filed a
I'm sorry. I'm also a property owner. It's
Oh,
parents, yes.
okay, I just want to
The
make
boy
sure.
was just attached to 5 years ago.
Well, because, it says representing the property owner, so. I just
Yeah,
wanna
but
make
it's not
sure
like
that-
in a lobbyist capacity. I'm also the owner. It's my
I
parents.
want to make
yes.
sure that there's, the we jive here. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Go ahead.
The property in this application is located at the southwest intersection of East 47th Street and East 10 Lane. The lot is approximately 8,000 square feet or 0.18 acres, according to Miami-Dade County property appraisal records. The site was originally developed with a 3,610 square foot industrial building in 1955. The property is designated as industrial in the city future land use map. The zoning classification is M1 Industrial District, which is consistent therewith. The surrounding land use designations and zoning classification are as follows: to the north, east, south, and west, industrial zone N1, industrial district. A review of the city microfilm records indicate that the subject property was originally constructed as a one-story warehouse building under permit number 1955-28542. Record further shows that a 900 square foot addition to the existing warehouse was constructed under permit number 1966-71345. Subsequently, microfilm records indicate that a permit to demolish the warehouse was issued under permit number 2005-2369. The warehouse was partially demolished, leaving only the exterior concrete walls remaining on the site. The property has not been redeveloped since then and is currently used for the storage of vans, trucks, and metal structures. In February 2018, the property owner received an unsafe structure violation under case number 2018-00872 due to the deterioration of the remaining concrete walls. In order to address the violation, the owner applied for a building permit number BLDR 001-581 2025 for the construction of a new warehouse building. During the zoning review process, the staff determined that the proposed 2,625 square foot warehouse does not comply with the required north side setback, providing 0 feet where the minimum of 5 feet 1 inch is required by the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinance. The submitted plans indicate that the existing interior concrete walls will remain and will be incorporated as the shell of the proposed warehouse structure. Staff also determined that the site does not comply with the required 7 feet landscaping buffer along 47th Street. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance permit, which is being considered at this time. Additionally, staff has advised the proposed warehouse will be required to undergo a site plan and concurrency approval process with the City of Hialeah prior to the issues of any building permits. According to the submitted survey and site plan, the property will comply with the minimum 10% pervious area requirement, providing 800 square feet or approximately 10% of the pervious area, thereby meeting the minimum landscaping requirement. The site plan further indicates that the existing concrete wall located at the northeast corner of the property will be reduced to provide a minimum of 7 feet east side setback in order to comply with the required 25 feet visibility triangle, as the property is located on a corner lot. Also, the property will comply with the required parking, providing 7 parking spaces where 3 parking spaces are required. The plan also indicates that a dumpster enclosure will be located at the southeast corner of the lot, which complies with the minimum 10-foot setback from the right-of-way. However, it should be noted that the dumpster enclosure must maintain a minimum 2 feet setback from the south property line, and the plan shall be revised to clearly indicate the required 2 feet setbacks dimension. Additionally, the site plan shall be revised to show a minimum of 7 feet of landscaping buffer along the east property line. The plans also depict that the swell area located along East 10th Lane is proposed to be used as lateral parking. The swell area cannot be used for parking unless approved by the street department. Staff finds that the request may be approved as the proposed variance necessary to allow the redevelopment of the property and to resolve the existing unsafe structure violation. The proposed warehouse will improve the current condition of the site, which has remained partially demolished for several years. The request will not negatively impact the surrounding properties as the area is developed with similar industrial uses. Additionally, the proposed warehouse is consistent with the industrial future land use designation and the M1 zoning district. Therefore, approval of the request is considered reasonable and compatible with the surrounding area. Based on the applicant request, staff recommends approval with the following conditions. 1, that the applicant shall proffer a declaration of restriction delineating a maximum of 6 months from the date of this application approval to submit for the required site plan and concurrency approvals from the City of Hialeah. If not site plan and concurrency application are received, this application approval will be rescinded and revoked. Number 2, project shall be developed in accordance with the sign and seal plans prepared by Ramon Kamayat, PA, dated February 13, 2026, according to the following modifications. A dumpster enclosure shall be maintained a minimum of 2 feet setback from the south property line, and the site plan shall be revised to clearly indicate the required setback dimensions, and the site plan shall be revised to provide the minimum of 7-foot landscaping buffer along the east property line in compliance with the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances, and the swell area along East 10th Lane shall not be used for parking unless approval is obtained from the City of Hialeah Street Department. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you, Claudia. 2 things here that come to mind here. And you're offering 7 parking spaces
Yes,
where 3 are required.
yes,
Good for you.
thank you.
Also the dumpster enclosure. Okay,
Yes.
and they're being closed, okay? No garbage flying around there.
No, yes.
And
Closed.
as she stated, street parking, swale parking, make sure you get permission before.
Of course, absolutely.
Do you understand all of that?
I do, thank
Do you
you.
have any questions or comments?
I do not.
Thank you. Comments or questions on the board? Nope. Anyone in the audience have a comment or question on this item? None heard? What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions.
Second that motion.
We had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Yua. Mr. Yuch,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening. Item number 6, variance permit to allow 6 parking spaces where 11 parking spaces are required. To allow 1 parking space fronting West 8th Avenue to back out into the right-of-way where back out parking is only allowed in low-density residential properties. To allow 0% pervious area where 10% is the minimum required. To allow the waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235. And to allow 0 feet landscape buffer between off-street parking and the right-of-way on West 8th Avenue where a minimum of 7 feet landscape buffer is required. Property is located at 2440 West 8th Avenue, Hialeah zoned M1 Industrial District. Nelly De Paz on behalf of Moinel Investments LLC.
Thank you. Name and address, please. Nombre y dirección.
Nelly De Paz, 7400 Southwest 88th Street, apartment 2205, Miami, Florida 33165.
Thank you. She said,
This
"The
property.
owner."
This property is located within the Seminole neighborhood along West 8th Avenue, just south of West 25th Street. The property consists of approximately 5,300 square feet or 0.12 acres and has been improved with an industrial warehouse since 1975, totaling approximately 2,974 square feet of building area, according to Miami-Dade County property appraisal records. The property operated with an industrial use until 2025, when the local business tax for Mega Stonewood Inc. was closed. In 2025, a local business tax pre-application was submitted for an adult daycare facility. During this process, the applicant was informed that a change of use will be required. Once the applicant submitted the change of use application to the building department, a plan review was conducted and several comments were issued as part of the review process. As a result, the applicant is now presenting this variance application. This variance application includes a request for a reduction of 6 parking spaces where 11 parking spaces are required. This requirement is based on the city code, which classified an adult daycare as a commercial use and requires 1 parking space for every 200 square feet of commercial floor area. In addition, the redesign of the restricted parking area proposes that 1 parking space backs out directly onto the street. This type of maneuver is typically permitted only for low-density residential properties. The existing street design will not be adversely affected as there is not sidewalks along this segment of West 8th Avenue. Therefore, the backing maneuver will not interfere with pedestrian activity. Because the property was originally developed under industrial zoning regulations, the requested variances represent the minimum necessary to accommodate the proposed commercial use on the site. Furthermore, the surrounding neighborhood lacks sufficient commercial space to meet the services needs of the local residents. Therefore, the request variances related to parking backing onto the street and the landscaping buffer should be considered favorably. Staff recommends approval of the request, provided that the project is developed in accordance with the plan signed and sealed by Arshad Bikar, PE, dated May 27, 2025. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, even though there's a reduction in parking?
¿Usted necesita que se lo lea en español?
No,
Okay.
Okay. Even though there's a reduction in parking, you good with that?
Yes, sir. Basically, the neighborhood area, as I mentioned in the report, it lacks the commercial spaces for that. This is a use that is needed in that area. And of course, it's for elderly population, so not much, vehicular activity will be required for that.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Did you understand everything that was said to you?
yes.
Anything to add?
No.
No? Comments or questions on the board?
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
how many employees are they gonna have?
Well, where the
Okay, we need, if you're gonna speak, we need you to say your name and address, or she can say it.
Okay.
Go ahead, just say your name, just say it.
Elizabeth Bartolano, 8770 Southwest 52nd Street. I'm her daughter.
See, that didn't hurt, did it?
No?
There you go. Now you're legal.
The only reason I'm asking is it's concerning because we're allowing back out parking when I thought we were trying to get rid of that
Yeah.
for a while. But it is concerning to me, regardless of whether the area needs it or not, back out parking is always a dangerous thing. I work for a company and I'm not allowed to, I'm supposed to park backwards and drive out before I park. And that's something that's demanded by a lot of companies with their drivers. So I'm a little bit concerned that, you're going from 7 parking spaces to 3, and you're allowing back out parking. It's very concerning to me.
So, like I mentioned, we're the landlord, we have the tenant, and what he explained is
Speaking to the microphone, please.
is that it's adult daycare, he won't be having any vehicles parked there because he has another site. Well, he'll be parking all his vehicles. And even the employees would be parking and being shuttled over to the property.
I hate to say this, but I find that hard to believe. I don't see somebody parking someplace else and taking a shuttle to the location. I understand that maybe it's possible, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is his plan, but I find that very difficult. And I'm still against the back out parking.
Through the chair,
Yes,
just for
through the-
clarification, so they're providing 6 where 11 is required. So they're providing 6 parking spaces.
Oh, I thought it was going to 3.
No. They're providing 6 parking spaces. They're required to provide 11.
Okay.
So that at least 6 they will be, but of course, the movement of one of the parking spaces required to do the backup parking.
So
So
one.
Only one.
for one car,
Okay, so you're
so-
gonna have 6 parking spaces.
yes.
On,
Five-
onto 8th Avenue, which is,
Onto 8th
which
Avenue.
can get,
Okay,
Can
that,
get pretty big.
that I could live with, because
Yeah.
you are gonna have maybe 2 to 3 employees there. I've dealt with the adult daycares. I see the amount
No,
of
no.
employees. And yeah, the customers don't usually drive. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm okay with that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm clear now.
see, we have a little bit of a problem with reduced parking and back out
Okay.
parking. As I'm sure you know,
Okay.
back out parking is dangerous.
No,
I mean, the easiest way to avoid the danger part of a back out parking is you back in
Yeah.
and you pull out.
Yeah,
But who does that?
I do.
I know, I do too. I do too.
Supposed to do it by
Just go out there and you see how I always back in.
Yeah.
But it's only one, so. Anyway, any more comments, questions that you have, that you'd like to add? Anyone from the board? Anyone in the audience? Okay, closes the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve?
Second that motion.
With, do we have
There's no
conditions?
No conditions.
No conditions?
Okay, so we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Yude?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yes,
Yude?
Mr. Yu,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Item has been approved. Thank you. Item number 7. Special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed 4-story mixed-use development, including 28 residential units and approximately 1,980 square feet of ground floor commercial space. Variance permit to allow residential units on the ground floor where residential units are allowed above ground floor level. To allow 25 multifamily units, 89%, with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of the residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. To allow street side setback of 6.91 feet, where 15 feet are required. To allow 35 parking spaces, where 43 parking spaces are required. To allow 6.3% pervious area, where 30% is the minimum required. And to allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235. Properties located at 291 West 49th Street, highly zoned B1, highly restricted retail district. Applicant Manny Reos, architect, on behalf of Pablo Gual.
thank you, Manny.
Good evening, Manny Rose Architect with offices at 18501 Pines Boulevard, Suite 342, Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Thank you.
The subject property is located on the north side of West 49th Street and is currently Zone B1, highly restricted residential district. According to Miami-Dade County Property Appraisal, the existing structure on the site was originally constructed in 1952 as a single-family residence. Over time, the property transitioned from residential use to small office, consistent with the pattern of residential office conversions that occurred along portions of West 49th Street corridor. The surrounded land uses reflect the transitional mix of residential and office activity. The property to the north is zone R1, one-family district, and is developed with a single-family home. To the east is a vacant lot, zone RO, residential office. The property to the west is also zone RO and is improved with a residential office usage. The property to the south across West 49th Street is zone RO. However, it has been developed with a two-story office building. This pattern reflects the gradual transition of the corridor from low-density residential uses to office and mixed-use activity. The property received a land use amendment approval from residential office to commercial according to ordinance number 2022-089 dated October 11, 2022. In addition, the property received a rezoning approval from RO, residential office building, to B1, highly restricted retail district according to ordinance number 2023-078 dated August 18, 2023. This amendment was approved based on the conceptual project of a two-story medical office. The applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District, NBD, overlay in relation to a proposed four-story mixed-use development consisting of 28 residential units and approximately 1,980 square feet of ground floor commercial space. The proposed development aims to introduce a mixed-use building that integrates residential and neighborhood-serving commercial uses in a walkable configuration. The commercial space is proposed along the ground floor frontage with residential units towards the back, while the upper level will contain the residential units. The project is intended to contribute to the activation of West 49th Street corridor by introducing additional housing opportunities and neighborhood-scale retail within proximity to existing commercial activity. The proposed development is consistent with the type of attractive growth and increased density envisioned along the West 49th Street corridor, which function as one of the city mayor's commercial and transportation corridor and experience a high volume of daily traffic. According to the Florida Department of Transportation average annual daily traffic, FDOT AIDT, this segment carries an average of 47,000 trips per day. The introduction of a mixed-use building at this location supports the city broader planning goals of encouraging redevelopment along major corridors while maintaining compatibility with surrounding uses. The site is located less than 1 mile from the Palm Spring Mile Shopping Center, which provide a wide range of retail, dining, and service-oriented uses. The proximity of this amenity makes the location well-suited to accommodate additional residential units that they can benefit from nearby neighborhood services with a short drive or walking distance. The proposed building architectural design is intended to provide an attractive and contemporary improvement to the corridor and surrounding neighborhood. The structure is positioned towards the southern portion of the lot along West 49th Street, which help reinforce the urban street edge and enhance curb appeal along the corridor. By locating the building closer to 49th Street and placing the open parking area towards the rear of the site, therefore providing a rear setback of 58 feet from the adjacent low-density property. In addition to a solid 6-foot wall, which will also minimize potential impacts on the neighborhood residential property to the north. This arrangement provides additional separation between the building mass and the adjacent single-family home while preventing excessive shadowing into nearby residential properties. Architecturally, the building incorporates a contemporary design that utilizes variation in massing, depth, and ornamentation to create visual interest and hierarchy throughout the facade. The building form introduced articulated volumes that emphasize key architectural elements such as an elevator lobby, a primary building entrance, providing a clear organizational structure to the design while enhancing the pedestrian experience along the street frontage. The ground floor of the building is proposed to include approximately 1,980 square feet of retail or office space, a small residential lobby, and 4 one-bedroom residential units. Floors 2 through 4 will contain the remaining residential units, consisting of 7 one-bedroom units and 1 two-bedroom unit per floor, creating a balanced mix of unit types that contribute to the city housing inventory while maintaining a moderate building scale appropriate for the corridor. The proposed residential component consists of 28 multifamily units, which 25 units, 89%, are proposed to contain less than 700 square feet. The city code requires a minimum unit size of 700 square feet while allowing only 25% of units to have a minimum area of 500 square feet. The applicant indicates that the smaller unit sites are intended to provide more attainable housing options while supporting compact urban development patterns. In accordance with the Neighborhood Business District (NBD) overlay regulations, the applicant has also utilized the incentive point system to achieve additional residential density on the site. The NBD code allows development to increase allowable density by incorporating design elements that enhance the pedestrian environment and overall building quality. The proposed development achieves a total of 3 incentive points, including 1 point for locating the parking at the rear of the building, 1 point for providing exterior balconies or more than 50% of the residential units, 0.5 points for incorporating a permanent art installation, 0.5 points for providing an improved residential entrance and lobby area with a minimum floor area of 500 feet. Through the use of this incentive system, the project increases the allowable residential density from the base 32 units per acre, which would permit approximately 15 units on the site, to a higher allowable density range of 50 through 59 units per acre, making the proposed 28-unit development consistent with the density provisions of the NBD overlay regulations. The project provides 35 parking spaces where 43 spaces are required. Under the city parking regulations, in support of the requested parking variance, the applicant submitted a parking needs study prepared by Draft Tech Engineering, Inc., which evaluated anticipated parking demand generated by the residential and commercial components of the project. The study utilizes shared parking methodologies published by the Urban Land Institute, ULI, and Institute of Transportation Engineers, ITE, and determined that the combined peak parking demand for the project will be approximately 33 parking spaces. The proposed 35 parking spaces therefore exceed the projected peak demand, indicating that the sign is capable of accommodating the anticipated parking needs of the development without creating adverse impacts to the surrounding properties. The Department of Public Works has confirmed that the site is served by Pump Station 04-061, which is currently in OK status. Additionally, a concurrency management application will be submitted by staff to Miami-Dade County Public Schools once the owners submit the site plan and concurrency application in order to determine whether the surrounding school have available capacity. The applicant is also requesting relief from the 15-foot street setback requirements, proposing a setback of 6.91 feet. Additionally, the project proposes 6.3 pervious areas where the minimum required pervious areas is 30%, and requests a partial waiver of the minimum landscaping requirements through the landscaping mitigation in accordance with section 98-2235 of the city code. The variance application therefore seeks approval of the following: allow residential units on the ground level where residential units are only permitted above ground level, and allow 25 multifamily units, 89%, with an area less than 700 square feet, where the minimum size is 700 square feet and only 25% of the units may be a minimum of 500 square feet. Allowed a street size setback of 6.91 feet, where 15 feet are required. Allowing 35 parking spaces, where 43 spaces are required. Allow 6.3 pervious area, where 30% is required. Allowed a partial waiver of minimum landscaping requirement through landscaping mitigation pursuant to section 98-2235. The proposed special use permit to allow the expansion of the NBD overlay, along with the requested variances, is consistent with the city goals of encouraging redevelopment along major commercial corridors while supporting neighborhood-serving commercial activity and diversifying housing opportunities. The proposed mixed-use development introduces an appropriate level of density along West 49th Street corridor, enhances the architectural character of the area, and incorporates design elements consistent with the intent of the NBD overlay regulations. Additionally, the submitted parking study demonstrates that the proposed 35 parking spaces exceed the projected peak parking demand for the development. Based on this consideration, the Planning and Zoning Department recommends approval of the special use permit and associated variances. This recommendation is subject to the following conditions: provide a declaration of restriction, stipulating all conditions, NBD time limitations for development, and the project shall be developed in accordance with design and seal plans prepared by Manny Reos, PA, dated December 12, 2025, included but not limited to exterior and interior improvements, building facade, color scheme, architectural finishes, and overall site design. And landscaping plan shall be submitted at the time of permitting, shall comply with The City of Hialeah Landscaping Code requirements are be subject to the approved landscaping mitigation in accordance with Section 98-2235 of the code, and all residents of the project shall be issued parking decals for vehicles authorized to park on the property. The decal system shall be implemented and maintained by the property owner or property management to ensure that the residents' parking remains contained within the site and to minimize potential parking spillover into surrounding properties or the public right-of-way. Staff recommends approval with those conditions.
Both impressive. Just want you to know.
Good evening.
Very impressive.
Very lengthy explanation. Very nice, Ms. Claudia. Mr. Oyoa, welcome to the zoning board. Basically, we have a four-story apartment building with some commercial on the ground floor. We're following the code 100% with some variations on parking and open space, etc. We feel that this project is an enhancement to the area fronting on West 49th Street, which is a major thoroughfare. Staff recommended that we do a parking study. We did the parking study. The parking study shows that with 33 parking spaces versus 35 versus 43, we're fine. The units on the ground, we have 4 units on the ground floor that are usually designed in the majority of our projects that we design all over, including in Hialeah, to make it more attractive for older folks so they don't have to catch the elevator and go up, etc. We feel comfortable with the size of the units, even though they're smaller. We want to make it more attractive for the time being, as far as when the rental quotes and so forth go out, so it's more attractive. And basically, this is a beautiful project, one of many that we do. And I understand that the neighbors are not too thrilled about the project, but it's something that they need to understand, that this properties cannot be left undeveloped. We're following the codes. It's a B1 zoning. We would rather not do a 4-story office building, which we're allowed to do in the zoning, up to 50 feet in height. We want to make it more attractive for the city of Hialeah as far as the request for apartments and so forth. The issue with the parking, the ground floor is medical, will probably be medical offices, and they will shut down the business at 5 o'clock. Those 10 parking spaces automatically, by code, by documents, by et cetera, will be part of the project, meaning that we'll have 45 parking spaces rather than 43. So if anybody on the board has any questions, so I'm sure there will be questions, I'd be more than glad to answer them.
Thank you. Anyone on the board have a comment or question?
Through the chair.
Good.
Yes.
It is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
beautiful project.
Yes, it is. Thank
I
you.
agree, it's beautiful. However, I don't, in my opinion, it's not consistent with the 49th Street corridor where it's mostly commercial. I know we're saying that we're trying to get more apartments, but I mean, with Metro Park and the Amelia District and everything that we've built, how many more apartments do we need? So I'm also concerned that I see that in the rear, there's gonna be balconies, so that will, the privacy of the houses that are there will be affected. Which I know that with elevation, people will lose their property, their privacy, but if we can avoid it, that would be best, especially in this type of project. Commercial would be best, in my opinion. But
Really?
with residential,
Wow.
it's not consistent with all of 49th Street. Most of 49th Street, with the exception of some original apartments are,
The
it's
parking
mostly
rate, ma'am, with
commercial.
all due respect, the parking ratio for commercial would generate 60 or 70 parking spaces, which are not fittable in this project. Go ahead and finish, and I have a rebuttal.
No,
for your
go ahead,
comments. Okay, basically, on 701 East 49th Street, there's a 3-story apartment building that has fully ground floor commercial, and they have residential in the back. We're like 60 feet further back in from the rear of the property, as far as the residential area. And they also have it's a single loaded design, meaning that the corridor is like a hotel, old hotels that had the corridors on the outside. So it generates a lot of traffic towards the back, and that we always design, if we can, the buildings, what we call double loaded, with internal AC area, corridor so that people can get in and out and not be overlooking on whatever into the neighbors. And as far as commercial, the parking would be hilarious to fit a 4-story commercial building there. We wouldn't even try to request a variance on the amount of parking that would be required. So, I mean, I respect your opinion,
Right.
but I'm just trying to answer the best I can as the architect for the project.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Manny,
Yes, sir.
as usual, it's a beautiful project.
Thanks to my wife, yes.
It's, hats off to her. Make sure you give her my
A
regard.
great designer.
It is a little aggressive for the area.
Okay.
I tell you what, I don't know what the neighbors, feel,
Oh, I know what they feel. They've already
but
talked.
well, hear me out first. I don't know what they feel. Obviously, they're not happy. You and your wife design and build some wonderful duplexes and quadplexes. You know the drill. I mean, it's your signature design.
Yes.
2 stories, 4 units, 2 units, whatever. Me personally, I think that would fit better in that area. Like you've done them everywhere. Duplex, quadplex, 2 stories high, gives you plenty of privacy to the neighbors. To me, it enhances the area. And again, Manny, do we have have the neighbors seen the
Yeah.
rendering or?
Yes, I've seen everything. They've already told me that they've
Okay.
seen everything.
Again, you haven't seen them?
Haven't seen
Okay.
it? Well, put them up.
Do you have can you put them up? Okay,
No.
okay,
Put them up on the.
well, 4 of you will get a chance to come up and speak,
Mhm.
but please be respectful, don't speak from the audience, okay? So give us a second. Let's see if we have it. If not, I'll be
mind, you
happy
can-
to.
You can go ahead and.
There you go, there you go.
Okay. If I may answer your comment whenever
Yes.
the time is appropriate.
Sure. Again, your design is beautiful. It's a beautiful building, but again, it's a little aggressive for the area. I would prefer to see like what you've done in the past, duplexes and or quadplexes, 2-story highs, maybe 2 buildings. You have enough room for 2 buildings there. That would be my suggestion.
If I may respond.
Absolutely, please.
Basically, fronting West 49th Street, we wouldn't want to design a duplex or a single family home, sir. We would want to comply with the flow of the heavily trafficked area. Planning for that would not be appropriate for single family or duplexes to be within that main corridor. That's my professional opinion as an architect.
No, that's
Not-
listen, I'm just giving you my feeling, the way I see it, and you're a very highly respected individual here within the board, but there are times when we have to, give a little bit. So that's my opinion. I'm thinking this is a little aggressive. But again, the rest of the board would chime in and say what they feel. I know Mr. Ulloa is going to chime in.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
You
Sorry.
recognized.
Like I've always said, I've always appreciated your work and everything, but I've always been in favor to maintain the homes in Hialeah, and I've been always trying, right? I'm here because I really want to see home ownership, and I'm a homeowner in Hialeah, and if I see this coming next to my house, I'd be going crazy too. I don't have anything against the visually aspect of the project. I just don't like it in a residential area, which I understand 49th Street. is a commercial area where you're saying that area there.
Yes,
But
it
it's
is.
so right, it's right next to houses, if I'm not mistaken. It's right next, it's bumping up against houses. And I want to take care of those houses and the house owners. That's what my concern is, to protect the homeowners and the houses. I wouldn't mind seeing townhomes, villas or something like that instead of like Mr. Perez said, a quadruplex is not something I would like either. I would like to see more like they have in Dorado, they're not apartments, they're like small villas that people can become owners of or something like that, but they're like maybe 2-story tall and yeah, they're narrow, but they look like row houses. And I think that's awesome. And people become owners and they invest in the city and they become part of the city and they become part of the neighborhood. And that's what we want. We want people who invest in the city and become part of the neighborhood and become part of the city. Because when you're renting, most of the people who run, not all of them, some of them have a real need for it, but some people I feel are just here for a time and then renting can bring more crime, more traffic, a lot more things to a neighborhood. Because I've seen it. I've lived in rental apartments and everything, and I think that right now there's a gluttony of rental apartments.
Your opinion is basically design row houses to be sold, not to be
Yeah, I
rented.
would love to see that. I hate rentals already because I think that we have so many already. I think there's a gluttony of them. They're bringing down the prices on a lot of them that are in the area. And that's just bringing in, more people, more traffic and more problems for the city. That's what I feel.
I personally would not want to live on fronting West 49th Street on a row house or a townhouse or something that is too heavily congested with traffic.
I get
That's
you,
why
but
we have the parking
I
in the
think that
back.
if it's built in the right way, it would look nice.
Anyways,
So it's everybody, like I said, everybody's opinion is might be different. But like I said, I really want to defend the city's homes, the little homes and the homeowners. That's what
Okay.
I'm really more concerned about. Thank you. Sorry.
Mr. You look like you're ready to say something.
Yeah, but I'll wait till you hit the gavel.
No,
Oh,
your neighbor here.
okay.
I think he's covered a lot of good points.
Speak into the mic.
Speaking to the mic.
I think he's covered a lot of good points.
I can't hear you.
Everyone
I'm
has
sorry.
everyone has covered a lot of good points. I think right now for the area, it might be too big. Maybe toning it down. I'm not sure what you've spoken with the residents in the
Well,
area.
I depending on how the hearing goes, I understand their frustration and their concern. I would be too if I lived there. But
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah,
But they need to understand that by right, we're allowed to develop the property. We just can't plant potatoes there
yeah.
to please the neighbors. We can't do that. So let's see how it goes. And if I have to, knowing how we operate, Mr. Perez, I'm willing to sit down with them and go over and hash whatever it is that is best for the area. But definitely something's going to get built on that site. Definitely.
Yeah. Manny, and this is God's honest truth. And folks, take this to the bank. This individual is a very respected, very highly thought of individual that deals with the city. He's a very, very good developer. And he does listen to the community. Okay. I would say give him a chance, have dialogue with him. This individual here and also Cesar Mestre, I mean, they're like, man, you don't get no better than that. So, Manny, you've gotten my take on it. I honestly think it's a little aggressive. I'm thinking maybe toning it down a little bit, like a 2-story jobs. I understand the situation with 49th Street, but 49th Street is not going anywhere. Okay.
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you done? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Whatever shape or form the project is modified, please consider eliminating the balconies facing the rear. even though you have 60 foot. So it's almost a ratio of 1-on-1 for the distance that you have to the property line. However, into all the comments that I have been hearing, even though the balconies are a requirement to obtain one of the incentive points, it's only a 50% requirement. So if you reduce those balconies by eliminating the ones facing north, you're still going to gain the incentive and you're going to protect and provide more privacy to the north area.
Okay.
If I understand what you just said, you're talking about fronting the building to the street instead, to the
No.
avenue instead of the,
No.
No.
The building already faces 49th Street, but the residential units, they have balconies facing 49 and facing the parking lot
okay,
in the rear.
50th, yeah.
Exactly. The parking lot is almost 60 foot wide. Okay, so you have 60 feet separation between the property line, which is the neighboring property, and the building itself. So you have 60 foot. So the ratio is almost 1-to-1. You have, one surface and you have another surface. Okay, so shadows are not going to affect the neighboring property. However, you have balconies that are going to be elevating. So the elevation of those balconies, what I'm saying in that elevation facing the neighborhoods is to eliminate the balconies. So you have just windows. You don't have balconies facing that neighborhood.
Okay,
At the end, I'm sure as a courtesy, you're going to let the neighbors speak, of
Yes.
course. At the end, when they finish speaking, I would like to have the courtesy also to come up and not necessarily rebuttal what they have to say, but make my final presentation.
we'll give you a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, any more comments or questions from the board?
I agree with everything that you guys have said.
I can't hear you, sir.
I agree with my colleagues here have said, and if you can, especially lowering, that'll be great.
I'm thinking out loud, and I usually don't do this, but I mean, no, I do it all the time. But when I get back to the office after the presentation complete tomorrow or whatever, I'll discuss it with the wife, and maybe we'll throw in a 2 and 3 story mixed flow within the project to alleviate some of the issues. But I want the process to continue and be completed so we know exactly what we can do. That means that most probably the density will have to be reduced. I hate going for variances on parking. Our projects hardly ever have any variances. So I don't know where that's leading to, but that's one of the things that I'll discuss with the neighbors out in the hallway once we're done, if it comes to that.
Fair enough.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and let them.
Yes. At this point,
Thank you, man.
thank you, Manny. At this point, when I open up the floor for,
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I do want to say into the record that we did receive a signed petition of objection to this project of 104 resident around the property.
are they all within the boundaries?
We would have to check.
Okay,
But-
because, you can have signatures from people in Opelika.
Right, but
You have people from, Miami Lakes, that,
Mr. Chair, we'll check it.
we
that
will,
have no bearings within,
right,
so.
but I just wanted to
I,
say.
no, it's noted. I just wanted to,
Yeah, they walk door to door to all the neighbors.
Right,
Yeah, that's
right.
what we did.
but my thing is, I want to make sure that we keep it to the
Of course.
neighbors that
Of
are
course, yeah,
affected,
of
not,
course.
not,
No,
hey,
no, no, it's
Johnny
the-
down the street,
That area. Yulila,
the neighbor.
yeah,
right.
that's what it is.
Okay,
Real quick, I'm sorry. There is a 500 foot radius
500
around
foot
the
radius.
property, correct? You can't be 1,000 or 1,500 feet away and then sign a petition, I'm assuming, correct?
that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Because we've had that in the past where we have people from Miami Lakes, that have come in and, sign off. And that's doesn't fly.
Yeah, but to taking into consideration to go to 49th Street, it's only either West Second Avenue or, that's why it's the surrounding neighborhoods. We only
Right.
have 2 exits
Okay.
to 49th Street, so that's why.
Name and address, please, so we can start
Okay,
your clock.
my name is Dalmar, D as in David, ALMAR. Last name is Flores. The address is 270 West 50th Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33012. I strongly oppose the construction of a four-story apartment building behind my home due to serious concerns about privacy, safety, property values, traffic, and the overall character of our neighborhood. First and foremost, the privacy of our home will be permanently compromised. A four-story building will create direct sight lines into our backyard and even into the interior of our home. My family should not have to live with the constant feeling of being watched. This concern is especially important considering I have two young children, ages 3 years old and 5 months. The safety and privacy of our family should not be sacrificed for this development. Additionally, introducing a large residential building so close to single-family homes creates uncertainty about who may be living there. While we respect that many people need housing, placing a dense residential building directly behind family homes opens the possibility of individuals with unknown backgrounds having direct visibility and access to areas where our children play. Another major concern is the negative impact this project will have on property values. Homes in this area sit on some of the largest lots and currently contribute some of the highest property taxes in the surrounding community. Constructing a multi-story apartment building behind these properties will significantly reduce the desirability and value. This ultimately harms both homeowners and the city's tax base. Noise is another serious issue. The construction alone will bring months, if not years, of heavy equipment, machinery, and disruption. Once completed, the building will generate ongoing noise from residents, vehicles, motorcycles, scooters, and general activity at all hours of the day. What has always been a quiet residential neighborhood will be directly impacted. Traffic and safety concerns must also be considered. Anyone familiar with the area knows that traffic on 49th Street between Palm Avenue and West 4th is already heavily congested throughout the day. Adding a four-story apartment complex with dozens of additional vehicles attempting to enter and exit the area will only worsen the problem. Increased congestion will make it harder for residents to move safely through the area and could also delay emergency response vehicles such as police, fire, and ambulance services. Furthermore, this development will significantly increase foot traffic through our quiet residential streets. Our neighborhood has always been a peaceful community made up of long-term residents who value safety and stability. Increasing density in this way may lead to additional disturbances and potential safety concerns. Finally, there is simply no demonstrated need to place this type of development directly behind existing homes when there are already multiple nearby apartment complexes with available units, including developments near the Hialeah Casino and on West 4th Avenue and Okeechobee. Building another large apartment complex in this location is unnecessary and places an unfair burden on the family who already live there. For these reasons, privacy, safety, property value, traffic congestion, noise, and neighborhood integrity, I respectfully urge the city to deny approval of this project. The well-being and security of the families who have long called this neighborhood home should
Okay.
remain a priority.
Thank you. I gave you an extra few seconds there.
Yeah, I tried to
I know
go as fast as I could, but that's what was
I
catching
know
my
you
breath.
were, you were on a roll. I
Yeah.
wanted to finish, your, thank you so much.
No, and I thank you all for the opportunity.
Someone else? Let's try and keep it to within 3 minutes, but if you're on the roll, I can let you slide a couple of few extra seconds. Oh, boy. Claudia, she's name and address, please.
Arlene Morales, 248 West 50th Street. Good. I'd like to start by saying that I think it's actually hilarious that a 6-foot fence, someone would think that that would stop anything with a building this size. And then I know the gentleman mentioned about potatoes. Why don't we put a coffee shop or something that brings food, something that brings younger people to the area as opposed to a massive building this size that overlooks our backyards? So I've been a resident of the neighborhood for 10 years. We completely remodeled our house from scratch, knocked it down. We pay $14,000 in taxes. We're raising 2 little girls in the area. They go to a private school, Immaculate, and we've chosen to invest in this area because the character and the traffic and the people, right? So bringing a building of this size only brings more people, more traffic, right? And realistically, 700 square feet, that only opens up to people that can afford more expensive living, which usually means low income, right? Also, I think we all know Hialeah here, and a parking for 28 cars or 35 or whatever the number is, nobody here has one car per apartment. So I think there's a difference between reality and what this gentleman is trying to propose, right? Having a building this size completely overlooks into our backyard. We have a pool, so it would just make it an unsafe area for everyone on 50th. To answer your question on the signatures, we walked from 50th to 52nd, so it is the surrounding area. And I'd just like to make it public here that not all the neighbors received notice, which it is my understanding that all those affected should. The area has been long, quiet, single-family residential neighborhood. Many of us chose to live here because of its character, low traffic, limited density, and a sense of community that comes from neighbors knowing one another. This building would completely change that. First, there are real concerns about traffic and our safety. Like I said, parking is not reality with what the gentleman of the study has said. It's Hialeah, right? Our streets were designed for a much smaller number of vehicles. Like my neighbor said, we only have 2 exits. So this would just bring a ton more traffic. We don't have speed bumps. So that would put in jeopardy the children that like to play or walk around, walking our dogs, people riding bikes. Second, there is an infrastructure and quality of life concerns. Higher density means greater demand on water, sewer, parking, and public services. It also means increased noise and activity in an area that has historically been low impact residential. These changes may seem small individually, but together they can fundamentally alter our neighborhood. Many homeowners have invested their savings in these homes here, and the expectation that the zoning and land use plan would remain consistent with the residential area. Sudden changes in density can affect property values and long-term neighborhood stability.
Oh, you got it in there just right.
I know. I was
You
walking
must
inside.
have practiced it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
Hello.
Rene Hernandez, 210 West 51st Street, 34 years there. That's quite a bit. First of all, congratulations. Your building looks fantastic. You're really beautiful. However, I'm going to echo what Mr. Perez said. I have a bunch of things to say, but I don't have the time. You used the word aggressive. I'm going to use the word incompatible. It is just not compatible with our area. The way all houses are set back and they have a certain look, this would just be out of the left field kind of construction. Although, once again, beautiful. We're planning to put basically 28 apartments in the capacity land space of what maybe 4 or 5 people used to live. We are not against progress. I want you to understand that. When Taco Bell came in years ago, this group was here, maybe more actually at that time. And we stopped it.
Yeah.
And then another construction came over and we had no problem with that. Now we had a dental office and another building that I don't recall what it is. We have no problem with that.
It's an urgent care.
Urgent care. There we go. So we want something like that. We want progress. We understand that progress is going to move forward, but the unintended consequences that most people don't talk about is what I'm worried about. And I'm worried about that because I'll let you know that I am a building manager, property manager. I do 34 properties, commercial, and I have under me over 2.2 million square feet. Okay, that's a little bit. And going to the parking situation, I also have to tell you that the parking studies that most people do are heavily biased towards allowing the parking. They're not worth very much. So we're worried about that. We're worried about the entry and exit to the property because when somebody can come in through 49th Street, guess what they're going to tell them? Hey, go through the streets. Why don't you just cut through 51st? Has anyone here ever stood in 51st when they want to cross for 4th to Palm Avenue and how fast they go? It is a corridor. It's a highway. So we need to be very careful about the unintended consequences of actually trying to progress in a place that is not compatible for this kind of progress. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. I want to echo some comment that you just made. I am guilty of traveling down 50th Street. When I come from the bank, trying to make that left onto Palm, I just go right and then left, go down 50th and come down. So I know exactly what you're saying. And as far as Taco Bell and boy, that was a battle. That was a battle. That was a battle. Thank you for your comment. Name and address, please.
Christian Villaseca, 250 West 50th Street. All right, good evening, Chairman, members of the board. We own the house right behind the proposed development of 291 West 49th Street. I respectfully ask the board to deny the application because the project is incompatible with the surrounding residential neighborhood. My concerns are the following. Direct impact on the property. Proposed four-story building will be directly behind the property, overlooking our property and yard and creating a significant loss of privacy. Also, excessive height and scale. A four-story structure is too intense for a site immediately adjacent to residential homes. Again, too many variances requested. The applicant is requesting multiple exceptions to the zoning code at the same time, which shows the project does not comply with existing zoning standards. Significant traffic congestion. The project includes 28 residential units in a commercial space proposed to be used as a medical office, which will bring constant patient traffic, staff vehicles, deliveries, and visitors. Now, impact on the main road. A medical office combined with residential units will increase daily vehicle trips and congestion on the main 49th Street and surrounding neighborhood streets, creating an additional traffic pressure in the area. Insufficient parking. The proposal reduces required parking from 43 spaces to only 35, which will likely cause parking spillover into nearby residential streets. Also, very small apartment units. The plan allows 25 units of the 28 units to be under 700 square feet minimum, which units as small as 500 square feet, increasing density and turnover. And then reduced setback. The applicant is asking to reduce the required setback from 15 feet to only 6.91 feet, placing the building closer than permitted by zoning regulations. Also, major reduction in green space. The project reduces the required previous area from 30% to only 6.3% of green space, raising concerns about drainage and environmental impact. Loss of landscaping and buffer. The applicant is requesting a waiver of landscaping requirements, removing an important buffer between the development and nearby homes. Accessibility concerns. The proposed layout raises concerns about adequate handicap accessibility for both residential occupants and visitors to the commercial space, including safe access routes, parking spaces, and ADA compliant recirculation. For these reasons, the project represents a significant departure from the city's zoning requirements and would negatively impact adjacent homeowners. I respectfully request that the Planning Zoning Board deny this variance and deny the application. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, so we had 4 in opposition. I'm just going to take a stab at this. Do we have anyone in favor that would like to come up? No? Manny? I'll give you a couple of minutes to digest what you just heard and what we said, and then
Well, basically, some of the comments that were made are not true, or not that they're not true, they're not correct. But it doesn't make any difference. I'm willing to meet with a representative of theirs in the hallway back there, exchange my business card, and see what kind of rapport we can establish to design and build something that is applicable to the area best that we can. That's all I can say for now. That's you know, we've got a reputation, and we're going to keep that reputation to be positive always.
and I know you will. I know you will, because you've never let this board down in the years that you've been coming
For
here.
future design work, it's very important that the zoning department informs the neighbors that they're here, that there's a radius map that is included in our package. Some of the neighbors don't get their responses or their notices because they're outside the 500-foot radius. So if you're 700 or 1,000 feet out, you're not going to get a response from the from the zoning department, from the radius
So
map.
just through the chair to clarify that, as you mentioned, there is 500. The properties are also posted, so whoever drives those properties, they also get the notification.
Correct.
So the 500 is the surrounding neighborhood. Now, we have proved that over here that whoever did the work, appreciate it, but people are being notified as well. So the lack of notification, I don't think so that is a concern in this application.
Correct. Okay, so, I've said my piece and I'm willing to sit down with them and discuss whatever, but definitely the property is gonna get developed. As a right, we have the right to develop the property. We just want to make everybody happy as much as we can. We will never be able to make 100% of everybody happy, but we'll do the best we can. That's all I can say.
Okay, so
Basically, I'm requesting the hearing to be deferred as I guess is a proper process to go.
okay. He is asking to postpone this hearing so that he can meet with you. He has the right to do that. So that he can meet with you one-to-one or with a representative of the group of the neighbors. Maybe you can come up with a happy medium. He does have the right to ask for a deferral. We call it a table. Okay. He is asking for that. If the board pleases, okay, we'll take a vote. We'll give you a deferral, and then we'll postpone you for the next meeting or the following meeting or whenever you feel that you need.
Well, if it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done right. So I can't tell you right now whether it'll be 30 days or 45 days. I have no idea.
Through the chair,
Go ahead.
I think that the residents are here and they deserve an answer now. I don't want to wait or postpone this. I think I'd like to make a motion if it's possible
Okay.
for me right now. Could I make a motion?
Public hearing is closed. You did.
You did.
You did. You have 4.
You did 4.
It's the new math. John, I see your point. I personally don't agree with the aggressiveness or I believe one of it said compatibility. Thank you. Okay, I don't agree with it. He does have the right to ask for a meeting with the neighbors. I'm sorry, I can't allow you to speak from back there. Thank you. So, I mean, you can vote your piece. You can say yes, you can say
I would
no.
like to just make a motion.
Okay,
The piece.
so that being said,
Either we could motion for his.
wait, before you do that.
No, I was merely going to ask, he has requested
He has requested a deferral.
a deferral. It would be it's not to a date certain, so there would be, it would require a whole round of new notices if it is the will of this board to do that, but I believe there is a motion.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I'd like to motion on his asking for the deferral.
On the request for deferral.
Yeah, he's requesting for deferral.
Okay.
I'd like to motion. Can I motion on that?
So you're going to make a motion on the request,
Yes.
Okay.
if it's the pleasure of the chair.
Yeah, can we get a second?
I motion to deny.
Oh, you want a motion to deny?
Yes, sir.
To deny the deferral.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's a highly unusual motion.
Yes, that's.
Is there
I feel that the residents are here already. I think they deserve an answer today.
He is asking for a table for a deferral.
And I'm motioning to deny.
Okay, but
to deny the application or to deny the deferral?
Deferral.
To deny the deferral.
I will deny the application. I will motion to deny the application after this deferral is over. But I'm motioning right now to deny the deferral.
Okay, so you are making a motion. Is there a second to that motion? That would be the appropriate.
Is there a second?
Second. Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Ulloa, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Perez?
Okay, this is to deny the referral.
Correct.
No.
Mr. Iglesias?
No.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Huge?
No.
Okay, so it
Okay,
did not.
motion failed.
Motion failed.
Motion fails. So, now his request still stands for a referral. Can we get a motion to ask for a referral?
The appropriate motion would be a motion for an indefinite deferral with notice to be provided when the hearing is rescheduled.
I mean, you give them the chance to
Yeah, that way.
Yes.
table the
It would-
item right now?
The item would be
And-
tabled, it would be indefinite. He would have to provide additional notice whenever the new hearing is scheduled.
So just for clarification, the property will be posted again. Notices will be sent to the residents within 500 feet again. For the, whatever new dates will be ready, the applicant to submit the new proposal.
Okay, so can we get a motion?
Motion?
Okay, do we get a second? We don't have a second? Okay, motion fails.
Okay, so motion fails again.
All right, so we stand in limbo now. He is asking for a table,
Yes,
and it is his right to ask for a table.
it is his right.
Okay. It is also the board's right to deny the table. Okay, which the board has denied the table. The board has motioned to
Table it.
table again.
It died for lack of a
It died for
second.
lack of a second. So where do we stand now?
If I may, you could pass the gavel and make a renewed motion. And see if there's a second to that
No.
motion.
Can't we just motion on the project itself already?
You can.
Yes,
That's
I'd
another,
like to
that's another
motion
available.
deny the project.
So motion to deny by Mr. Ulloa?
Second.
So it's a recommendation of denial
Yes.
for the city council.
That's
Yes.
that's active, yes.
Okay, so that's a motion. There's a second to that motion. And it is on the basis of the criteria
Yes.
listed in the code. Specifically, the criteria 98-133.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
We had a motion from Mr. Ulloa, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Perez?
No,
Mr. Ulloa?
We're voting
to deny.
to deny. So yes.
To deny the item.
To deny the item, I would vote yes. Yes.
Mr. Huge?
No.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
No.
Okay, motion has failed.
Okay,
Through the chair,
so we,
through the chair,
yes.
special counsel, will the applicant have a chance to also withdraw the application? So then they will have to start from scratch, from all over?
The applicant could withdraw the application.
Yes. I would like to withdraw the application.
Okay, so that takes no action from the board.
So that means that I can come back anytime. I don't have to wait X amount of time to come back, correct? If I withdraw the application, correct?
I'm willing to say you're right, but during that time that brief time, that's your opportunity to reach out
Yeah.
with the neighbors and
Which is
do
my
what you need,
intention.
do your due diligence.
Yeah.
So, okay, so at this point, the applicant has withdrawn the application. Okay, so there's like, thank you for coming here. Thank you for voicing your opinion. Nothing has happened. We're back to square one. So now he has to go out there, put his dancing shoes on, and come talk to you all and try and convince you. Well, that's okay. Okay, listen, that is his, okay, right now, the case is dead. He has withdrawn it. It has not been approved. It has not been denied. Okay, So he withdrew the application, so
Hasn't been postponed either.
it hasn't been
There's no
postponed.
dates.
So we're starting fresh. That means he has to go out there, talk to you all. Well, first of all, come up with a better plan that may suit you all, approach you, address you, talk to you, see if there's a happy medium. Okay, so he's starting from scratch. Then he has to advertise and a new hearing, whenever that is. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever the schedule, whatever the availability is scheduled. That's what we're saying. No, that's what we're saying. He has withdrawn the application. That means that's it. That's it. Just no more. I can't have you talking from there. Do you want to be the spokesperson for the group? I understand you.
Through the
No, no,
chair,
no.
through the chair. So just to be clear, okay, whenever an applicant withdraws an application, means that this application is like, it goes
It never
closed.
It never
We are
happened.
closing the application. If, let's say that they bring the same application, it will go through the same process. You will get notifications, the property will be posted, you will be informed of the meeting. So everything will take the same shape and form for this application. So just take a look at, the property and, the same process will take
Okay.
it if it comes with the same or a different project.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, it could be any one of you. I don't care which one. I do need one person. Okay, I'm going to allow one person to be elected as a spokesperson for tonight. And you can come up here and voice your opinion. This is highly irregular. We don't do that. But since obviously there are questions still in the audience, one person, because I can't be talking to everybody, especially from other, one person, come up, voice your, just ask a question or two, we will answer it, and we will close it, because this item has actually been closed. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to have the opportunity to sit down with them. I just don't want them to not be able to sit down with us and then let it slide and
That's going to be up to them. You have withdrawn your application, okay? You're going to start fresh from scratch. So you know the due diligence that you have to do, okay? Okay, you do your due diligence, you speak with them, you meet with them, you do whatever it is you got to do. And then this gentleman here is concerned that if he applies again and he doesn't, if he doesn't show up, will it be approved? I can't see. You can't be talking from the audience. Okay.
To remove the application, when you guys here know all the law and all the, why is that happening?
Because okay.
Sir, yeah, if I may, we can't have this
Okay, we
kind of
can't have it.
discussion from the audience, but I will say, he has an application, he has a right to maintain an application. He has withdrawn that application. It is back to zero. There is no application on the table any longer. So whatever he asked for before, doesn't matter, that's out, that's done. That's done. I just wanted to respond to that. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? He is at zero.
No, we didn't. Well, no,
That's not accurate.
no, it's not. Okay.
Respectfully, that is not accurate.
Okay. See, this is why I said a spokesperson. Okay, because we can't be dealing back and forth with the audience. Okay. Let me just reiterate. The applicant has withdrawn the application. The application does not exist. Whatever was in the application doesn't exist. He will come up with a new plan, a new design, a new whatever it is that they do. Okay. And he obviously now knows he's got a bad taste in his mouth because he knows that he's negatively impacting the neighbors. He's gonna wanna come and talk to you all, see if he can find a happy place. Once he finds that happy place, then he will submit his application with the pertinent changes that would get you there. Come right up in your name and address, please. I gave you.
Arlene Morales, 248 West 50th Street. I want to make it clear that if he comes back with the same exact project, we're going to keep fighting it, right? I also don't find it fair that he has no limit, right? It could be months. So we're going to have to be watching, right? So it's going to be really time consuming for all the neighbors that don't want this project. It's not fair. Is it possible that we can give him a limit in time that he comes back with the project and we put the application back into place?
There
Go
is,
ahead.
if I may, the
Sure.
chair, there is no application any longer.
Mhm.
We cannot place a limit. That would be an arbitrary limit, right?
Okay.
We don't have the capacity to do that as this board.
Okay.
Okay. What we can guarantee is if you are in the notice radius, which I believe you were,
My backyard would
basically
be
behind it,
directly
right?
affected by the balconies
You
that the
had
gentleman
mentioned-
wants to put.
you had mentioned
Yes.
You are entitled to notice of any new application, just the same way that you got notice for this one.
Okay.
And then you act on that notice.
Why is there no limit on when they can withdraw the application?
What was the question?
Why is there no limit on when you can withdraw the application?
Why there is no limit as to, I don't understand.
You can.
Go ahead, just say it, just say it.
So.
This is very unorthodox, okay?
Okay.
This is, I'm just letting you,
So.
I just want to get, to the bottom of it.
So we have a process. We have to submit anything we want before this hearing starts, right? We cannot submit like a proposal saying we're against this. On the notice that you sent us, it says you must submit any objections before the committee starts. So how can you, why is there no, like, why doesn't that apply also to withdrawing applications when you're here? Because halfway through the meeting, if you don't like what's going on, you just withdraw the application.
Okay. I have an answer for you, but he'll give you the legal determination.
He's asking for relief from the code. Okay. When he withdraws that request for relief, there is no ask anymore. The ask does not exist anymore. It's not that he's injecting something new into the situation. He's saying, I'm not asking anymore. It cuts it off. It's at zero.
Well, why doesn't it lock in once you're already in so that you can get a final determination? I'm saying, why isn't it locked in as far once the committee starts? You know what I mean? So that we get an answer.
Because he is entitled to withdraw his application. That's what the law provides.
If he keeps coming back and we keep showing up and then it's the.
We can't.
Can you speak into the
So
mic?
is there a limit in the amount of times he can withdraw? Because if he comes back with another unattractive project and he doesn't like where it's going and everybody's against it, he'll withdraw. We'll come back and we'll play this game for a long time, right? So what protection do the neighbors have in order to stop this at some point and get something that we can agree on a happy medium?
There is a limit to this board's patience. And that's what you can.
Okay.
And also, there's also the limit to his wallet. These meetings are, an application is it's a pricey process.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, it's at least personally, it's my first time. And
I mean, to you, it's basically time.
Yes.
To him, it's time, monies, materials, representatives, attorneys.
Okay. Understood.
Plus permits, registration fee. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. So we'd be more open to something commercial, right? It's usually closed on the weekends, less traffic, maybe a potato shop since you want to plant potatoes in the area. How about we can try that?
All right. So just my suggestion will be keep an eye out on your mailbox.
Okay.
You will be notified when he dots his I's, crosses his T's, and gets his P's and Q's with the neighbors. Then
We'll be here again.
Please.
Thank you.
This is your house.
Yes.
You belong here.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Quickly.
Yes.
Because remember, you're dismissed already.
I know. Basically, we won't design anything until we meet with the neighbors.
Okay.
period. That's it. Simple as that. So, I mean, it depends on what they want. If they want a single family home there, it's not going to be a single family home. But I'm willing to sit down with them and go over as to what is best for the neighborhood. I've got to talk to the owner tomorrow morning, of course, and explain to him what's going on. But as an architect, I can tell you, but I need to start a conversation. I can't just design something that they're going to turn down. I want to make sure that we were on the right track.
Okay.
Simple
Thank
as
you,
that.
Manny.
Through the chair,
Yes.
if you don't consider a single family home, think multi-family homes. Try to
That's
think
what
about
I'm
that.
saying.
That'd be
It's-
multi-family
that-
homes would be nice instead of
whatever it
rentals.
is, there's
So
something
people
that-
could become owners in the neighborhood too, just like them, and they could become part of the city. I would love to see that, Manny. Nobody brings projects like that hardly ever here. Only a few times I've seen that.
I know.
You know, like I said, like row houses, that would be amazing over there. And yeah, you could come in. I've seen them done. You know, they happen by 60th Street in Hialeah, by where the school is at. You know, they're like little townhouses.
Will I be able to meet with one person in the hallway outside to see what we can agree on?
Okay, okay. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you for taking your time and expressing your feelings, your opinion. You know you're welcome here. This is your house, and please, you know,
Yeah.
okay, so there you are. See, that's why you're here. Well, okay.
I live in Hialeah.
Okay, any
Oh.
issues, take them outside, please. We have more items. Okay, so we can't say that we weren't fair.
Item number 8, special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed 3-story mixed-use development, including 44 residential units.
I thought this was the last one.
Okay,
600.
the last one, please close the door. Thank you.
Yeah.
You just give her a second. Unless you want to defer.
Okay.
Well, good. You don't have any objections. All right. I'm sorry for all that drama, but you know, it's life. Go ahead.
Item number 8, special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed 3-story mixed-use development, including 44 residential units, 670 square feet of fitness center space, and 7,163 square feet of medical office commercial space. Variance permit to allow residential units on the ground floor where residential units are allowed above ground floor level. To allow 44 multifamily units 100% with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of the residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. To allow 81 parking spaces through a covenant in lieu of unity of title with properties located at 2855 West 12th Avenue and 2801 West 12th Avenue, where 84 parking spaces are required. To allow 21.4% pervious area, where 30% is the minimum pervious area required. And to allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235. Properties are located at 1160 West 29th Street, 1170 West 29th Street, 2891 West 12 Ave, 2855 West 12th Avenue, and 2801 West 12th Avenue. Hialeah Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District. Applicant, Valerie M. Sanchez, Esquire, on behalf of Prestige 29th Street LC.
This is, I'm sorry. I can't hear without my glasses. 11, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, and staff. My name is Valerie Sanchez. I'm an attorney with Alejandro Villarreal, PA, with offices at 16400 Northwest 59th Avenue in Miami Lakes. I'm also joined here tonight by attorney Alejandro Villarreal and Michelle Rodriguez, our legal liaison.
I thought he looked familiar. I haven't seen you in forever.
Anybody else got old besides us, right?
Welcome back, by the way.
This property encompasses by these applications are located at the corner of West 12th Avenue and West 29th Street. The site consists of 3 parcels along West 29th Street, totaling approximately 36,977 square feet or 0.85 acres. The current land use designation for all parcels is commercial with a zoning classification of C2, liberal retail commercial district, which is consistent with the land use designation. 2 of the parcels are currently vacant, while the westernmost parcel is used as a parking lot associated with the medical center located to the south. According to city records, the property were developed as a gas station with a mechanic shop in 1966 and were demolished around 2008. Other uses might have been established on the site, however, no additional city records had been identified. The properties are surrounded by active commercial centers. A Navarro store is located to the west, the Portofino shopping center is to the northwest, and another shopping center is located to the north. In addition, the property immediately to the south is developed and operated as a medical center. This application also proposes to unify the existing medical center property with the new project. The parking facilities will operate concurrently under a proposed covenant in lieu of unity of title and an existing reciprocal right of ingress and egress and reciprocal parking license agreement, most recently recorded with Miami-Dade County Clerk of Court under CFN number 2025-0814647. This application proposes to combine and redevelop the 3 parcels within a mixed-use 3-story building that includes a fitness center at the northwest corner and with 44 residential units. All residential units are 1-bedroom units ranging in size from 610 to 699 square feet. The project complies with all the required setbacks, particularly along West 29th Street and West 12th Avenue, where landscaping buffers are proposed between the building and the public sidewalk. In addition, a decorative 6-foot metal picket fence is proposed to enhance safety and privacy for future residents. The northwest corner of the building will accommodate the fitness centers. Therefore, the corner elevation is designed to open towards the street, providing visual hierarchy and architectural emphasis at the intersection. All residential units include balconies facing 29th Street, featuring backlit aluminum decorative panels that provide privacy. Similarly, along the south elevation, the common open corridor incorporates the same backlit aluminum decorative panel to provide protection and enhance the aesthetics appearance of the south elevation. The project proposes residential units on the ground level, which requires a variance since neighborhood business district MBD overlay projects are required to provide an active ground floor. In this case, the project site is surrounded by existing commercial centers. Therefore, the variance is considered appropriate for this location, especially since there will be an area in the ground floor improved as a fitness center. Additionally, all the residential units are less than 700 square feet in size. The smaller unit size allowed the project to remain more affordable, as smaller units typically rent at lower rates. In order to develop the property as proposed, the applicant is requesting a special use permit, SUP, to expand the neighborhood business district, NBD. Under the requirements of the code, these properties are eligible for such an SUP. When expanding the NBD regulations, the project must provide height and density incentive points to comply with the applicable standards. The project provides the following incentive points: provide parking facilities at the rear, 1 point; provide balconies on at least 50% of the units, 1 point; amenities, the fitness center, 1 point. The total number of points provided is sufficient to comply with the requested density increase of 51 dwelling units per acre. For parking purposes, the project includes the medical center property to the south as part of the unified parking arrangement. The combined parking requirements for the 44 units and the medical center is 84 parking spaces. However, 81 parking spaces are proposed. The applicant has submitted a covenant in lieu of unity of title to ensure that the properties remain unified for parking purposes, as well as the reciprocal parking agreement to allow both uses to share parking facilities based on the operational needs. The applicant has also submitted a parking sharing report analysis that anticipate parking demand. The report concludes that the total parking demand will be satisfied with 68 parking spaces. Therefore, the variance request is for a reduction of 3 parking spaces for the required amount of the unified project. This reduction may be considered a de minimis parking decrease based on the parking demand analysis provided. Furthermore, the site is well served by public transportation as the City Flamingo routes operates along West 12th Avenue in addition to Miami-Dade County Bus Route 183rd. The project is also requesting a reduction in landscaping and open space, proposing 21.4% pervious area where 30% pervious area is required. However, as part of the site plan review process, a tree mitigation payment will be required in accordance with Code Section 98-2235. Therefore, staff provides the following conditions. Provide a declaration of restrictions, stipulating all conditions, NBD time limitations for developments, and provide a recorded covenant in lieu of unity of title for the parcels to operate the shared parking lots. And provide a tree protection plan to keep the maximum number of trees on site as possible and to mitigate any tree removals. And the project shall be developed according to the plans prepared by Alberto O. Gonzalez, PA, and signed and sealed by Eduardo Perez and dated January 19, 2026. The staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you, Claudia. I'm looking at your slide here. This is that empty lot across from Mesa's Barbecue.
Yes.
Okay, that's an empty lot there. I think there's like a lumber store there or something.
No, to the west of it is Navarro, CVS.
Ah. And yeah. So if I understand this correctly, you're going to acquire the empty lot on 29th all the way to 12th.
So we already acquired them.
Well-
There's two empty lots on West 29th Street.
Right.
And it is also into West 12th Avenue and then the parking lot right behind it to the south.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted some clarification there. Okay, go ahead, please.
Good evening. As I stated, my name is Valerie Sanchez, and I have offices located at 16400 Northwest 59th Avenue in Miami Lakes, Florida, and I'm here tonight on behalf of this applicant on this item. I have a very brief presentation tonight. We're requesting a special use permit to allow for the limited expansion of the neighborhood business district zoning overlay. If you can go to the next slide. This project consists of a 3-story mixed-use garden-style multifamily development located on West 29th Street and West 12th Avenue. It's going to be developed by the Prestige companies, and they have developed several dozens of projects throughout the city for over 20 years. Here are some of their most well-known developments. If you can move on to the next slide, the next one. Thank you. This project is going to be 44 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom residential units, and there will be a 670 square foot fitness center commercial space. This area is surrounded by a medical office to the south, a Navarro, 2 shopping centers, and it's adjacent to a medium density residential property. So this project is in line with the area surrounding it. Can move on to the next slide. The next one. This is kind of like the design, some renderings here, what it should look like facing West 29th Avenue. Staff is recommending an approval of this application subject to certain conditions, and we're in agreement with the conditions, and we have been in communications already with Claudia. We've submitted a first draft of the declaration of restrictions and also a first draft of the covenant in lieu of unity of title. I respectfully ask for a vote of recommendation for approval like that of your planning staff, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Comments or questions from the board?
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the agreement on the parking with the medical center and?
It's relating to the parking. So basically, they're unifying all the properties. So the 2 vacant lots, the parking and the medical, for parking purposes only. So they will be sharing the parking.
And
Yes.
is there enough parking or
It's-
is there like an excess?
Between the 2 uses, they require 84 parking spaces and they're providing 81. They are, in
Okay.
terms of access, the current medical center has access through the south, and the project is providing another access to the north along 29th.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
I take it the medical center is not gonna be open late though, right? It closes early,
No, they close, I believe it's at 5 PM.
so that's gonna have additional parking for the residents and everything else.
Okay.
Is there overnight parking gonna be allowed in the medical center? parking?
In the agreement that they submitted, yes, basically they limit, after 5 o'clock, you should have a copy on the package. And they will be allowed between 5 o'clock, 5 PM, and on Saturday as well, and Sunday, of course.
Okay. And there's a way that it's all gonna be one bedroom apartments only, right?
Only 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Square feet?
They range between 610, I believe, to 699.
And the minimum is how much on the square footage supposed to be how much?
So basically, we have a 25% limitation. So up to 25%, they can be up to 700 square feet.
But the minimum is 700 square feet that we.
No, that's not the minimum. That is up to the limit. So they could present 500, 400, we don't have a limitation. What we have the limitation on is the percentage on that smaller range of units.
Yeah, because that's what I want to avoid, these little tiny, small, but I don't want to turn into New York where they're renting these little closets
Mhm.
for $1,000. That's.
Yeah,
pretty
no, in
ridiculous.
this case, the range is close to the 700
Close to
medium, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Anyone else?
The buffer, the landscaping buffer, yes. So then the details of the buffer that they have over here, there is current landscaping along 29th. So that is why one of the condition is actually to request the project to maintain as much of the trees, the existing trees on the property, so that you have mature trees already. And then they have,
I didn't see a site plan for it.
oh, here.
Turn your microphone on.
I did.
Oh, you did.
No, yeah, he has.
So you laughed at my comment. I couldn't hear without my glasses, huh? Now you see why.
So the main entrance is on West 29th Street.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone in the audience? Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
Second with conditions?
Okay, we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Huge?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
why can't they all be this easy?
You have Mr. Alex over here. We have such a long history. He's,
Preparing for the meeting, talking to Ms. Sanchez and Rodriguez, I said, it's been a long time since I was a city attorney here in Hialeah. The problem is, I don't know anybody.
well, surprise.
But worse than that, no one knows who I am.
Well, I do. He was a city attorney here for a long time.
Yeah.
Then he went to Miami. Yeah, and I visited a lot of your meetings there, council meetings. I was in the audience, but then he became a lobbyist here.
For many years, the city attorney's office had people that I hired. And staff that I worked with, I think everybody's all gone.
Well, it's good seeing you, man, and you're looking good. So
I think consideration.
Very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
take care.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Small world.
Miscellaneous item not requiring advertising. Item number 9, old business?
Old business.
No old business. Item number 10, new business?
New business. I already said my new business. I congratulated Mr. Ulloa.
Yeah, thank you, and then
Back to
thank
the
you
board.
for having me back, and
You had a nice few
Yeah.
months off.
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
I like it. I feel like I'm back at home.
Yeah.
We need more of these.
Okay, if, are you okay?
Very good. Yes, no problem.
You got a good,
This is good.
okay. Are we good to go?
Yeah.